All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day, guys. You know what? I literally never know what day it is anymore. And that's okay. It's okay. Guys, you don't have to know what day it is in order to come to these charts and look for these trades. All right, crypto does something, it warps time. Right, let's be honest. Crypto warps time. You know what I'm saying? So whatever day it is, may the Lord bless you in Jesus' name. I do pray all of you are super blessed in many, 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 many ways. As the Bitcoin price, well, we've been in Chop City, guys. We have been in Chop City. We've been chopping up. We've been chopping down. We've been chopping left, chopping right. You ever seen the price go to the left? Man, we've seen candlesticks go backwards these days. It's been crazy. I'm telling you. Got to give a major shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. As usual, if we get 1,000 likes from the first half hour, we will be giving away 1,000 USDT. Shout out to Rakesh. He's sitting with a spacesuit on. Well, that's not going to do much to protect you, since these days the spacesuits don't even close up on the neck and stuff. It's crazy. Like back in the 70s, it was way more convincing with those spacesuits, you know, kind of looking like they could protect you. But these days, it's crazy, man. So I hope you'll be okay with that spacesuit on. I honestly don't even know if you'll be able to go underwater with that spacesuit. You might drown. Shout out to Joe Potter, my man. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Carl. He says AVAC's looking good right now. Shout out to Woody DuPont. He thought it was Saturday. Saturday's actually the only day I know that it's Saturday. Shout out to Boyan. He says, I can't believe you started a stream right before I stream again. Bro, you still got 9 minutes, man. You still got 9 minutes, you know? I'm really sorry, Boyan. You know, sometimes in life, bro, the only time you can stream is at 15 minutes before Boyan streams. You know, it's crazy. Shout out to Houston. And by the way, shout out to Boyan. I mean, Boyan, man, he's been calling these trades like yesterday. Let's see if we could find Boyan's trade from yesterday. He gave the call. He gave the long call right before the big pump. All right. We're in the Casper Crew VIP Discord yesterday doing some live trading during the New York Open. I was live for New York Open yesterday, and we took a scalp trade live. All right. It's not a signal, but I took a short trade right here. Boom. Caught that move to the downside. That's the 4-hour chart. Made a pretty good profit on that trade. And as we came down to this area, my man Boyan in the Discord, he gave the signal, which isn't a signal, to go long, as can be seen here with this gif of Squidward trying the Krabby Patty for the first time, where he realizes how much he loves Krabby Patties. And then, of course, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Shout out to my man Boyan, and shout out to Jason Casper. Look at Boyan right here, man. Took a scalp short right here as well. Dude is a crazy trader, all right? So I don't know why you guys are watching me when you could be watching Boyan in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. At jasoncaspertrading.com, click the link to join the best dang trading community in the world, man. Honestly. Now we got to talk about this Bitcoin price, because honestly, if we come above 124.4 thousand, I do think we actually could rocket ship straight past the Van Allen radiation belts right to the moon again. And of course, we'll have no problem communicating with Bitcoin on the moon, because we got that really good Wi-Fi that we've had since the 60s, where we can just shoot it for hundreds of thousands of miles through space and get an instantaneous response. It's pretty crazy, man. Technology is wild, I'll tell you. Now, we have to understand that right now, WEEX is offering a 50% futures bonus if you use my link in the description. And we also need to understand that KCEX has the best fees in the world, 0% limit order, 0.01% market order. But more than this, I think that we do need to understand that Bitcoin right now is in between two very key places. We take a look at the trade setups given in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, the short from 125.885 and the long trade from 121. And you can see that this is exactly where we are trading our Bitcoin from, right? We are in these two trades, and right now we're going to see which one is going to win out, all right? We've already made sure that we've made $10,000 on the long trade. We've already made sure that we've made $2,500 on the short trade. So worst case scenario, $12,500, you know, it's always a good case scenario, and the worst case scenario is 12 grand, you know. But what is going to happen with the Bitcoin price? Because we do need to be honest here. As we look at the chart and we see what's happening here, we have to realize where we are, what's happening, and what's printing on the chart. All right, so make sure to smash up the likes, because if we can get 1,000 likes within the first half hour, we will be giving away 1,000 USDT, man. And who wouldn't want to win 1,000 USDT? If you want to win a 1,000 USDT, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. All right, we're going to start on our 2-day time frame here. We're going to start on our 2-day time frame. I think this is where we need to start. Now, as we know, the Bitcoin price has broken out of the range that we were trading from December 2024 all the way until July 2025, right? We had this very clear area of resistance, all right? We have broken out, and now we're holding it as support. We're holding this as support. Now, a lot of us, and myself included, say, you know what? This looks very bullish. Why? Because we had a breakout, we had a back test, then we had a higher low, now we've had a higher high. So we have a breakout, a back test with now bullish market structure. And that is absolutely correct. So as long as we're holding above 120,000 US dollars, I'm going to put a line right here, 120,000 US dollars. Objectively speaking, this is very bullish because we've broken out of the old range from 2025. We formed a little bull flag range up here, back tested key resistance as support, and now we're making a higher high. And we're currently holding above the fair value zone of this mini range up here. What does that mean? It means that since July, anything over 120,000 US dollars was considered overpriced Bitcoin, which is why when we came up there the first time, we see a move to the downside. When we come up there the second time, we see a move to the downside. Well, look at this. Now, this is the 2-day chart. I hate when I'm logged into TradingView from like all my computers and my phones and everything at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Then you come up here, we're holding above this level. As long as we hold above this, this is the market telling us that what used to be considered overpriced Bitcoin is now fair priced Bitcoin. And as long as we don't lose this level, more upside is probable. Now, where would this actually flip bearish? Where would this actually flip bearish? This would flip bearish if we start closing the candles below $120,000. And if we take a look at Market Cipher B, we see something quite interesting. We are setting up an extremely bearish divergence here. We're seeing the money flow getting lower. We're seeing the momentum waves getting lower, all right? Giving us the dreaded upside down, Sam Bankman-Fried bearish pattern with the man boobs. Whereas the price gets higher over time, the man boobs get lower over time. The money flow gets lower over time. Even the hair, lower over time. Even if we zoom in at the smile on his face, right? You can see it's angled down, all right? It's angled down. So we have the dreaded upside down Sam Bankman-Fried bearish man boob pattern unconfirmed, but what we don't want to see happen is a confirmation of that red dot here with a loss of $120,000. Now, locally speaking, if we go to our 1-hour time frame, we can see that as we came up here, we were absolutely confirming the lower time frame bearish Sam Bankman-Fried man boob pattern, which is why, we're short from that level, right? Setup given in advance, and I told the community that I decided to short this. Just like yesterday, live in the moment, I told the community I was taking a scalp short, and Boyan yesterday, live in the moment, told the community he was taking a long. That's what we do in the Casper crew, man. You know what I'm saying? We make a plan, and then, of course, it's not a signal, but, we're just letting people know what we do. Why not? Why not do it, right? So we're still in the short here. Made $2,500 on the short already. Still open. Now, here's the thing. We are currently, obviously, getting a bounce right from the level given in the Casper crew, right? We were looking to short up here and looking to long down here at around 121.5. It's currently where we're long, 121.5, getting a little bit of a bounce here, okay? This is going to be a pretty key level. Now watch this. As you can see, we have this key zone here between the Fibonacci Golden Pocket and the 786. This is basically between $124,000 and $125,000. If the Bitcoin price can reclaim this, man, we are going to, in my opinion, break out of this range, and we are really going to see big follow through. We're going to pushing up towards $130,000. We could easily see from a break of this box about another 5% move to the upside here. Okay, but this box is very important. The reason why is because, given the context of the bearish divergences, the upside down Sam Bankman-Fried man boobs, if we reject from this box, okay, that means it's likely that we're actually gonna we're going to make another lower low here and continue with this local. It's very local. There's nothing bearish about this in the high time frames, but on the low time frames, we have to acknowledge the fact that this whole move up, going all the way back to September 26th, we have made higher highs and higher lows consistently the whole time on the 1 hour time frame. What happened to us over Monday and Tuesday is for the first time since the end of September, right? So we're talking September 25th, and then we come over here to October 7th. All right. So, the first time in about 2 weeks, we make a lower low on the chart. Okay. So if for the first time we make a lower low, that should be piquing our market structure changing senses, saying, you know what, lower low for the first time, we need to be sensitive to the fact that if we start to get a rise here, it could just make a lower high and then we make another lower low. Now, when we look at market cipher B down here, a few scary things. We have some very bearish divergences at these highs. We don't really have bullish divergences at these lows. And the money flow is continuing to get lower here. Okay? The momentum is continuing to get lower here. When you have a rounded top like that, and you have bearish divs at the top here, and then you have continuation of momentum and money flow, you need to be sensitive to the fact that although this is bullish on the high time frames, and we still can be expecting higher, there are a few low time frame warning signs. So don't be super surprised if we reject from resistance here. And also, a little hint, it's always best if you don't long Bitcoin into a key resistance after a local change of market structure. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to do, okay? You can do what you want to do, all right? But for me, I'm sensitive to the fact that, you know, this box is super key. Could we look for a long if we break out of this and get a back test? Then I say we could look for a long, because then the market is showing us that the key resistance where the lower high is most probable to happen, the market is telling us that's not going to happen. All right, that's not going to happen. You know, in my opinion, the longs to be taken were to be taken down here at this area from the setups that we gave in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Now, why were we looking for that area? Well, it's quite simple. It's literally the support resistance flip that you have on the chart, right? This was our last zone of consolidation, support resistance right here. And so when you see something like that, and you see liquidity that can be taken, that's where you look for your longs, right? That's where you look for your longs. Now, about half an hour, New York is going to open. Let's talk about a few different scenarios that we have here on Bitcoin. I mean, scenario number one is obviously this. If we, in New York Open, make a higher high here, and we come up into this area, we will be having extremely bearish looking divergences here, right? We take out this high at $124,000 as it stands right now. I mean, we have the, what would we have here? What do we have? I guess we would have the Sam Bankman-Fried bearish man boot pattern, right? That's pretty much what we would have here. The 1 hour time frame would be getting lower as the price would be getting higher. All right, let's go down to our 24-minute time frame. The 24-minute is a secret time frame that the market makers use to move the price. And they don't want us retail traders to know about it, but I know it because I'm just that cool. All right, you can tell I'm pretty cool. I mean, I have to be honest. When I look in the mirror every morning, do you know what I think to myself? Jay, you are so cool looking. Look at you, man. You are so cool. Man, I wish I was in high school again so I could go in there looking this cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they tell me to take my hat off. Now, the 24-minute time frame, to be honest with you, would not necessarily look at that bearish as the 1 hour. Let's go to the 12-minute. Man, this is ambiguous, guys. This is ambiguous. The money flow is bearish here, but the momentum is not. So I would say if we see something like this happen, that would be confirmation that that 1 hour is really looking bearish. Okay. So quite interesting here. Quite interesting. If we get a drop, all right, if we get a rise, I am going to be interested. It doesn't mean I'm going to, right? If I decide to, I'll let the Casper crew know. But I'm interested in a short from up here, all right? Which I'll be taking on probably WEEX, because I'm already short on KCEX. Guys, KCEX, if you're not trading on KCEX, man, It's the best. Lowest fees. It's amazing. I love it. It reminds me of MEXC in 2023. Also, WEEX does have really good fees as well. And WEEX right now has a juicy promotion. All right, links in the description for the best fees in the world on KCEX and this juicy 50% future bonus on WEEX. If we get a drop, okay, we do need to be aware of this. We have been forming liquidity down here below these lows. What does that mean? It means people who are bullish, people who are longing, have their stop losses under here and under here. Why? Because they're saying, the trend is my friend, so as long as we don't make a lower low here, we're good, right? Wrong. What do the market makers like to do? Well, if I was a market maker and I wanted to buy a lot of Bitcoin, I would only be able to buy a lot of Bitcoin if there were a lot of people selling Bitcoin. And what happens when your stop loss gets triggered on a long order? Well, it's a sell order. It puts liquidity back into the market so that bigger players can now buy that freed up asset that was no longer locked in a trade. And also, remember, when we come down to here, where are we coming down to? What is this $120,500 level? Well, it's none other than the macro value area high, right? Remember, we never actually came back to back test the value area high. Why is it called a back test? Because we, the market participants, are testing whether or not we actually like this breakout or not, right? Like, look what happened here when we came to test. Is this breakout real? I don't know. Let's test the level that used to be considered overpriced Bitcoin and see if now the market says, no, this is not overpriced anymore. I want to buy here. What used to be overpriced, now I want to buy, right? Obviously, we failed the test. And people said, yeah, you know what? I don't want to buy Bitcoin at 120K. No. Nah, I'd rather buy down here at 107, right? Well, now, if we come back down to this level, you know, considering the fact that we came to 107, we made a higher high, we made a higher low, we made a higher high, now we're going to test again and see, you know, perhaps now we actually do get that bounce. What used to be considered overpriced is now considered a good price to buy. And then we see us push up towards $130,000. This is a macro resistance. Remember, we're talking from July 10th, 2025 here. So how many months is that? Let's see, July, August, September. So like three, it's like 12, like 13 weeks, okay? Sorry, I'm really bad at my long division. About 13 weeks right there. Support resistance flip, very important level. Now, if we do come down to that level, notice something about market cipher B. What would it be looking like there? Well, there's a really good chance that we see, if we come down to this level, bullish divergences here. Multiple drive. We could see multiple drive of that, right? Even on our 4-hour time frame. Ooh, it could be looking juicy. Could be looking juicy, right? Now, I will say this. A little bit of a word of caution here. It would have been much nicer. It would have been much nicer yesterday to take out the low at 126.80, because then this would have looked insanely bullish. All right, whenever you see a low made and then the low taken, and market cipher B on the 4-hour looks like a juicy set of uneven butt cheeks with a thick, juicy left cheek, all right? Very thick and juicy. I mean, we're talking squats, glute thrusting, Romanian deadlifts on only the left side only, single leg. Single leg, low bar back squats, very hard to perform. Very hard to perform. See, people look at her and they think she's out of shape. They don't realize she barbell back squats 365 pounds for reps. Single leg. She does a pistol squat with a barbell on her back, low bar position. That's how she gets the cheek. So, see, this is what peak performance looks like, guys. This is what peak left leg, left glute performance looks like here. Okay? And then that skinny right cheek on the right. If we had made a lower low here, this would have looked insanely bullish. But we didn't do that. We made a higher low. We don't have a divergence, we have a convergence. Don't get conned by the convergence. You guys see how that works there? Right? It's like congress. You know what I'm saying? The opposite of progress. Congress. Don't get conned. Now look, it doesn't mean we can't come down and make another bull dip. It just means it seems a little bit less probable right now, okay? And so really, if we are traders, you know, if I was a trader, not just a YouTuber here to shill my courses. Speaking of my courses that I shill, check it out. The Jason Casper YouTube channel, we got a free course on here. 18 sessions for free, free 99. Literally everything, not everything, but everything you need to get started. If you're a total beginner, check out this course. Man, you will be ahead of 95% of traders. You apply this information, you apply this info, you will be ahead of 95% of people in these markets. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. If you actually learn and apply this information, you are not going to get wrecked. You are not going to blow your account. And if you really apply yourself to sticking to this information, I'd say most people within a year or two, 3, can actually be successful, profitable traders. All right. I don't know everyone's mental capacities out there, but I'm pretty sure most people with a decent head on their shoulders take this free information and use it to make money in these markets, all right? So if I was a trader, and not just here to shill my free course on the internet, I would be looking very carefully at 124 to 125 and very carefully at 120 to 120.5, because this is going to be the decision-making area, all right? This is going to be our decision-making area for Bitcoin. A move above this opens the door to much higher prices because we're seeing lots of bullish things happen here. But a move below this level opens the door to much lower prices because if we're coming down below this level, the bearish signals that are unconfirmed right now will confirm. And then, of course, we need to expect a move down to 117. And then, here's the thing. We lose 120. 117 is just the most obvious level here. Look at this. Perfect resistance, perfect resistance. So we expect 117 for sure. If we lose 117, then we do need to be aware of our Fibonacci golden pocket right here. Let's put on our 0.65. Okay, our 0.65, that's 113.8 to 114.2. And again, look, these fib levels, they line up very, very nicely with just historic support resistance. I mean, look at this. We have perfect resistance right here. Then we have the resistance again right here. Then we have the consolidation. You know, just like how we have nothing until this level on the way down, then we lose that. We have nothing until this level, right? So we take it level to level and we say, as long as we're not losing $120,000, more upside is probable. But once we lose that, downside is probable. And our two targets are 117 to look for the bounce, or really I should say to look for the cheeks, and then 114-ish. Technically, this is a large zone down here, guys. To be honest with you, I will be looking for a long from this area here. Why this whole area? Because remember, we're dealing with fair value, right? What is fair value for Bitcoin? Well, right now, based on our history going back to July 10th, fair price for Bitcoin is $117,000. All right, this is as fair price can be. So if we're coming back into this fair value zone, then the best place to buy is going to be down where it's considered undervalued, right? So yes, we have a support at 114, but it's not technically considered undervalued until we're below 112. So a dip down to 111 would actually be the best place to buy right here in a bullish scenario, which would in fact be giving us a beautiful rounded bottom with bullish market structure, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, right? Whoops, pushing buttons here. You know, I don't know how to use a computer. I'm the stupidest crypto YouTuber in the world, guys. Like, I'm so dumb. Like, a lot of them out there are really smart. You know what I'm saying? I watch a lot of really smart crypto YouTubers out there, you know? But when I look at myself, I'm like, man, Jason, you are so stupid. It's a good thing you look so cool. You know, I always think that to myself, you know. What I lack in smarts, I make up in just coolness, you know. I walk into the room, everyone's head turns, wow, look at that guy coming in. It's like, yeah, what's up, guys? So, you know, give him the old winkaroo, you know. All the ladies, man. They're like, oh, it's Jason. All right. Let's see here. All right, so New York going to open in about 15 minutes. We're getting a little bit of a move down. Yeah, let's check out the order flow. How's the order flow? So we got a big decrease of open interest here. A lot of longs took profit. Looks like, or maybe got wrecked. Yeah, no, we had a lot of longs open here. They probably took some profit. We have nothing's happening right now. Like basically, there's nothing happening right now. Basically, let's take a look overall at this CVD. So it looks kind of bullish here. It looks kind of bullish. This is more bullish than bearish on the order flow right now, because we're seeing shorts open in general, but prices are able to make lower lows. However, the open interest in general is pretty It's pretty flat. It's pretty flat. It doesn't look super bullish. And actually, if we zoom in a little bit, do we have bearish CVD here? We actually had a little bit of bearish CVD. It's ambiguous, guys. It's ambiguous. We have kind of bullish CVD in this chunk, and then we have kind of bearish CVD forming around here. It's a bit ambiguous. If we're going to be looking for scalp trades, obviously, guys, as we all know, VWAP is always a good place to be looking for a scalp trade when New York opens. And let's see. Let's put on our local market ciphers. I'd say the 6-minute money flow looks kind of good right now. 6-minute money flow looking good. Man, this low here on the 6-minute looks really nice. Let's check out our 12-minute. 12-minute is one of my favorite time frames as well. I would say, man, this range is really looking very tradable, I have to say. Like, just imagine what things would look like if we do take the low here. The money flow coming up like this. The momentum waves could be... We could have a really nice long if New York gives us a big dump first. Also, depending on how long it takes us to make another high. You know, we've got these medium time frame bear divs here as well. So be watching the 12-minute, the 6-minute to start forming bearish divergences here, because then, you know, that money flow will be coming out and we'll have that nice bearish divergence as we take that high. And I do have a feeling, guys, I mean, let's be honest, this has been Chop City. Okay? This has literally been Chop City. I'm pretty sure. You know, I mean, yesterday in the Casper crew, man, look at this. All right, we took this short scalp live. We took this juicy short scalp live during the New York Open. We traded Chop City pretty well in the Casper crew yesterday. We shorted this live in the moment during the live stream. Boyan longed this and told everybody. And then I didn't take the trade because I wasn't at the charts anymore at 14 o'clock. But we came up to my short level and get the perfect move down. So even in Chop City, the Casper crew, man, we are literally nailing it. We are nailing it up in here, man. But this is Chop City, which means I expect more chop. I expect more chop, and if we're chopping around, I'm going to be interested in these juicy key levels, man. I am. All right, silver just broke a new all-time high, and now it's dumping. Guys, make sure to smash up the likes, by the way. We got 800 people in here. We only have 2 likes. 2 likes. Sheesh, man. Major shout out to Crypto Coons. How does New York opening affect crypto? Isn't crypto 24/7? Yeah, it is. But here's the thing. Like, the crypto market has been, like, co-opted by traditional markets, pretty much. Like, a lot of people trade the market sessions nowadays. You have your CME futures market, which is like a traditional market that trades the Bitcoin price. And a lot of crypto traders trade these sessions, and there's big spikes of volume that happen around these market open sessions. You know, it's not the way it used to be. So you'll notice, like, pre-market, an hour before market open, you get a big spike in volume, volatility, and then New York Open, same deal. You get a big spike in volume and volatility. Shout out to Joe Potter. Shout out to Dave Flowers. Shout out to Loki. Man, Loki, you're low-key my favorite viewer. The blue blockers are cool no matter what my wife says. Yeah, guys, I got the blue blockers. Like, I have honestly been... shout out to Crypto Princess, by the way. Make sure to go subscribe to Crypto Princess YouTube. All right? Yeah, I gotta take my... Now in the fall time, in the winter, I've got to take my sleep more seriously, so I'm getting much stricter with the... It's not just the screen, I also have these bright LED lights here, so I have to look like an idiot for a little... it's a small price to pay. Shout out to Divine Hood. Silver crash. Let's check out silver. Guys, I'm a big fan of precious metals. You know, that is historic money. Precious metals is historic money. $12-minute dump. Let's go to the daily here on silver. Wow. That's a big daily candle on silver. That's a big daily candle. Let's see what percent silver's up here on the day. 5.55% on the day. That is pretty nuts. Let's check out silver on the monthly. Oof. Would you look at that, man? Would you look at that? Big old cup and handle on silver. I mean, technically our target is $100 per ounce. Not so crazy. Not so crazy. Man, I'll tell you, man, when I first started getting big time into silver, it was right around July 2014, a month after I got married. And I'm thankful that I was so conspiratorial back then, not trusting the dollar and the fiat currency nonsense. And man, let's see. It's funny because when I'm up now 235% on my silver. You know what's funny is I'm in the crypto markets every single day. I don't really pay attention to the gold and silver prices simply because I'm not trading them actively, right? I'm a hodler. I'm a precious metal hodler. This is historic money. Until they figure out alchemy or how to 3D print silver, which is kind of like alchemy, honestly, if you think about it. I mean, alchemy was taken very seriously as a science for a very long time. Probably still is. Let's be honest. Probably the occultists out there take it real seriously. I'm pretty sure the science that they give the public is like the watered down basic science. You know what I'm saying? They teach us Pythagoras for his Pythagorean theorem, but they don't teach us the other stuff Pythagoras was into, you know? That stuff they would consider now today to be called magic. But Pythagoras took it seriously. Same with Copernicus. And same with Isaac Newton, man. We learned his physics formulas, but he was also heavily into the occult, and they took that stuff seriously as real science. But anyway, I digress. Until they find a way to make silver from something else and gold from something else, which I don't doubt that they could, right? I mean, there are secrets to the creation that I don't feel like man is supposed to have access to, but they always try to gain access to that stuff. I think this thing could pump like crazy. This is a really bad sign for the dollar, to be honest with you. Precious metals pumping, this is a bad sign for the dollar. But we've seen silver this high before, back in 2011, so nothing too groundbreaking. We have a giant cup and handle here, going all the way back to 1980. Man, I missed 1980. That was such a good year. You guys remember that? We could be forming now another cup and handle. Right? We could do something like this, bull flag, and then pump. You know, be watching silver right now to form another bull flag here and then pump. Let's check out Market Cipher B. Let's go to the weekly. Man, oh man. I mean, this is just runaway train momentum and money flow here. There's really no sign of weakness here on the weekly. Let's go to the 2-day. There's really no sign of weakness here on the 2-day either, to be honest with you. It looks pretty bullish, you know? If I'm going to be honest. Alright, I won't be honest. Looks bearish, man. Looks bearish. This is nuts. This is crazy. Yeah, that's a big spike out of nowhere. So don't be surprised, guys. After a big spike, you expect some kind of consolidation. You expect some kind of consolidation here. Gold, I hear, is over 4,000, right? Wow, look at gold too. That is insane. It really is insane. It shouldn't be insane though. They've artificially suppressed the prices of gold and silver for so long, even in the midst of all this money printing. So the fact that it's no longer being suppressed, honestly, is really showing some weakness here. That is crazy though. Let's see. Man, guys, it's crazy to think. It's crazy to think that, you know, on paper, the price of gold and silver it has just done a 2x, right? Or 3x, basically. But, that's just the value of the dollar going down. That is just so insane. You know? It's insane. It's insane. Here's why it's insane. Because now I'm so old that I can say back in my day, stuff cost this much, right? That, you know, I feel like that shouldn't be. Only my parents should be able to say that, you know? I shouldn't be the one saying that. But now here I am, a parent, telling my kids, back in my day, you know? Back in my day, I remember having a $20 bill in my hands, feeling like I was rich, feeling like I could buy anything. I remember one time my dad had a $100 bill, and I asked him if I could just hold it. I held the $100 bill, and I'm like, man, I feel so rich. Now $100 is like $10, man. Honestly, what are you gonna buy with $100 these days? It's crazy. All right, back to the Bitcoin price. New York's gonna open in 4 minutes. We're going to see what happens from our key levels. The chat's talking about weird things. Would I invest in wood? Like lumber? Yeah, I think that's always good. That's always good. Find 1 gram of gold a day and you don't have to work. Shout out to Preparing for War. God bless you, man. No one cares about Galladium. Oh, Palladium. And no crypto nice. I see. There are homes by Yosemite for under $1 million. The land holds billions of ounces of gold. Wow, that's awesome. Silver is such a complicated instrument. You were 6 in 1980. It was a good year. I was -10. You know, I was -10. It was a good year. CERN turned lead into gold. Is that true? Like, who knows, right? Who knows? Shout out to Hasnain from Pakistan. Back in 2024, I could buy 700 grams of pure organic cocoa powder for $10. Fast forward today, it's $21.99 for the same price. That's wild, man. Preparing for War says when he was a kid, he could buy candy for 1 cent. Candy bars for literally 25 cents. That's wild, man. That is wild, man. Shout out to Dylan Gaines. What's going on, bro? God bless you, man. God bless you. Shout out to Divine Hood. Shout out to Travis Bird. ETF inflows is the market mover now. It seems to be that way for sure. Shout out to Clay the Great. Shout out to Nyan Jonah and Crypto Sir. Limitless 1618. Do I think it will pump this morning? You know, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm pretty neutral right now. We've got bearish and bullish CBD. We've got ambiguous market cipher. We're in between 2 key levels. So really, I mean, yeah, we could be scalping this sideways range that we've got here. But in order for me to have a real bias on a high time frame, I need to see some kind of level claimed or lost here. I need to see some kind of level claimed or lost. By the way, guys, just a reminder, WEEX is having a 50% futures bonus special. KCEX is having the juiciest fees in the world. We got to give a shout out to the Casper crew because we have been destroying these charts literally short from the top, long from the bottom. Both trades taken, profits locked. All right. Yesterday, literally, every single trade setup was respected. And the not signal, because we don't give signals, given in real time right here. Boyan gave a long from down here. And I don't know if anyone publicly in the Casper crew instructors shorted this. I was not at the chart, but look at how the level is so dang respected. And the setup given is so dang respected. That is pretty crazy. You can join the best trading community in the world at jasoncastratrading.com, where every single day we go live 3 times a day. Basically live trading. Also, it's super fun. We do games, we do giveaways, cash giveaways all the time. It's a super fun, super positive environment to learn how to trade or just to hang out. As we are consolidating here right now, man, silver. Silver, silver, silver. Silver, silver, silver. Man, that is crazy. All right. Well, New York has just opened, guys. We have just opened this morning. We got to give a major shout out to IPP Crypto and Jogo and Gensho Gonchev. Can someone help me join the Casper crew? You just click the link, man. It's that simple. Shout out to Felipe. He says precious metals at all-time high, Bitcoin at all-time high, stocks at all-time high, rate cuts and money printing coming. Seems like a big crash is bound to happen soon. Thoughts? For sure. Absolutely. What goes up must come down at some point. For sure. I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you my horse in the race. I'll tell you my horse in the race. My horse in the race is that it's going to happen around 2027. Major crash. 2028 maybe. We'll see. I think we'll see Bitcoin get a big pullback. I don't think Bitcoin's gonna follow traditional markets. That's my personal view. I think 2027 we see a stock market crash. That's just my personal horse in the race. But here's the thing. I love all of you, and may the Lord bless you all in Jesus' name, in Yeshua's name. I have to head out, guys, because I do have a very important thing to do today that involves driving. So I gotta head out. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching, clicking the bell. I will see you guys next time. Peace.